Abdul, it's Fiona here. I've had a quick look at both of your essays. I could see probably where you might lose marks, and I've highlighted them for you. Hopefully, if you have a quick look at them now, maybe pause the video and tell me what you think you might do differently next time. Task 1 started really well. It looks like you know how to summarize information. Simple thing, it ranged from 1000 in the 70s to, so it ranges from and to. I did notice things coming up in terms of your linking words in task 1 and task 2. So when you click on these, it will bring you to a blog of mine that I've written, because they're quite common mistakes. Whereas is a common mistake, so it's considered a basic mistake, which means it won't give you a 7. All of these are really easy to fix. You've got the language and you can fix these, but I can see why they might have gone for a 6 for grammar, because they'll say, well, whereas is just a linking word, and you don't need a new sentence. So a simple correction is that, whereas, and that's it. Numbers for those who committed part-time. Committed sounds a bit funny when I read it there, because usually it's commit something, commit a crime, commit suicide, commit adultery. So I think you'd have to say committed to a part-time course. Yeah. But you've got good language of analysis, like doubled, and you don't use too much detail. But you've got another linking issue here, so that would keep you from a 7. So the ing linking word, you use it in task 2 as well, but again, not correctly, in a different way. So ing links 2 sentences with a comma. So you don't need a new sentence. Now that's okay. It's a long sentence, but that is now a correct sentence. And there was just one more thing, I think, century. I think you meant decade, not century, didn't you? That's probably just a slip. Overall, it's a nice, it's 176 words. It's quite simple. There is a possible answer here. It does go over length, is 218. Compare yours to that. You can see lots of these ing there. I won't give it a score now, but we're just looking at things that might keep you from a higher band on a bad day. Now, more significantly, in task 2, there are things here that again would keep you at 6. Especially this. In the introduction, you're not stating which side of the argument you agree with, or which side you're going to argue. And the question was very specifically, do the benefits outweigh the drawbacks? And you just say you're just going to examine them. So that would keep you at 6 for task achievement. Do have a look at some of my advice on introductions, how to write introductions there. Strange choice of vocabulary there, not quite right. So for band 7, you need to be precise. And that they would say that's not the word you mean there. That means impossible to overcome. Do you mean inseparable? I don't know. So yes, your main point is have brought people together. That I think is your first main argument. But they don't like questions. And this is an obvious question. It's just too obvious for a high-level, sophisticated task 2. So that would keep you down. You haven't really expanded your point. If you look at my lessons on Peel paragraph, point, example or explanation or elaboration, and link. But all you're doing really is a point and a question. You're not elaborating it. Another point worth mentioning here is the huge learning opportunities. Okay, so that's your second point, is that they bring learning opportunities. But how is that different from a computer? You know, so here you're talking about a phone, and the fact that a phone has advantages over even a computer, you know, that you can carry it with you for security, emergencies, things like that. And again, you could say the same about this, because you can actually do that on a computer as well. So you have to answer that question quite precisely about phones. Although I do understand your points, the most of these things we do on a phone now. So it's more about convenience, isn't it? Watch your grammar with not only. So again, it's a complex structure and it causes error. So it's easy to fix. Again, look at my blog there, not only but also, but you need inversion. So you can see Google telling you not only do they put grammar there, possibly indicating to the examiner that you don't quite have a grasp of high-level grammar, though I know you do. I wouldn't use any emotional language. Check out here, I've put a link. This is all about words that you should avoid using in task 2 because they're non-academic. So horrendous is more like a horrendous car accident. It's emotional. And mentally ill users is an exaggeration. It's exaggerated language. They want you to use precise language. So to suggest that it leads to mentally ill users is a little bit a step too far for this kind of essay. And then linking words again here. So which is a linking word. So you need a comma, which is basically designed with adds as its weapons. Weapons, a bit idiomatic, possibly idiomatic language to keep online. Yeah, okay, this grammar was odd. One can, meaning everybody can, easily recall a time when realizing they. So you're mixing the pronouns one and they, and you can't just put ing. For example, everyone can probably, because you can't say everyone can. That's 100% of the population. Everyone can probably easily, probably recall a time when they realize. Yeah, so it's a funny structure because it's quite spoken. It's quite magazine, article, journal. Browsing for hours is quite informal. It's not quite the academic language that they're looking for. Your first point is the amount of time wasted. Good. I would avoid besides. If you're making one last point, then it's your final point. So tell the reader what you're doing. Finally, and don't use those / They're considered lazy in scientific academic language. Human is the adjective. You don't need humans or apostrophe. So the simple tip there is take out S and apostrophe. Human relationships. Okay, yeah, so I can see why you're not possibly getting the score that you deserve. For Band 7, I tell my students I would expect to read through this hardly stopping. But I stopped quite a lot for various little niggly small things that you can fix. The possible answer here might help you. It's quite simple again, but it's clear and easy to follow. Things like that take time. People just don't realise they're doing these things, and that's obviously what I do in the Members Academy. So what we do every Friday is we have a feedback session, and it's on Zoom, so you can ask questions. We have a kind of a group meeting. Everybody writes the task. I set you some things to read beforehand for vocabulary, etc. And then everybody writes. I give feedback on every person's individually. I give you a model answer. So it all helps towards the development of what's good. So somebody gave this essay, and we've got the peel paragraphs here. This Andressa is using very well. So you learn from others as well. So you're not just getting feedback on your own. And you can see I give you quite thorough and a rough grade there. And it just kind of gets you more used to what the exam is expecting of you. Thanks for listening. Do let me know if you've got any questions. Bye-bye.